So you've probably heard this term GRM or gross rent multiplier, or you maybe have been in a conversation, people are talking over your head and you don't really know what it means. Well, I'm no expert, but what I'm gonna do is share exactly how I use GRM and what it is so that you can hopefully get unstuck moving forward. Coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep On Cash Flow, and I'm back once again to share some tips as well as tactics on how you can go out and make more money, have more control over your free time, and ultimately live with less stress. So just right up front, I'm gonna ask you if you find value in this video, if you can go ahead and like it as well as leave your comments, because I always wanna know what it was that added value for you. And then also share. If you can share it with other people that are just like you, it will help them and you will help add value to them. And that just makes a much better world for everybody. So with that, I want to go in and talk about what is this whole thing called GRM and more or less like how do I use it. So by no means am I a super duper expert, like I said, but when you start looking at things like GRM or gross rent multiplier, you can figure out kind of what it is and then also how you can use it, like a practical application. So, and basically, I mean, the gross rent multiplier, what it is in general is like an estimate of the market value of an income producing property. So what does that mean? Like if you go out and buy streams of income, which is typically what we do as real estate investors, especially multifamily real estate investors, it's more or less, is this in line with other types of properties in a specific location? And when I say location, a lot of people will say market, but it's very location specific, this gross rent multiplier, because you want to know if you're paying more or less for a similar stream of income from an income producing property or rental real estate. So it's a really easy way to understand whether or not you should invest more time, right? And I guess kind of right up front, what are the one big advantage of the GRM or the gross rent multiplier is the fact that you don't need like a sophisticated calculator and you don't need, massive like internal rate of return kind of things. And I use that as an example, right? Because there you pretty much need a calculator to understand exactly what it is. But this is really simple. It's really, really easy to calculate. On the other hand, one of the disadvantages, I guess, of the GRM is the fact that it doesn't take into consideration some things that are really important, especially as an investor. And what do I mean by that? Number one, it doesn't take into consideration the time value of money. So a dollar today is worth more than a dollar in the future. So that's kind of one of the concepts that doesn't really take into account. And it also doesn't take into account the expenses that could be paid by a tenant, right? Because this, by definition, is gross rent multiplier. So it looks at your gross scheduled income. And I know I've done videos on that in the past. It really looks at what your P&L is, and one of the top lines of your income statement or P&L is your gross scheduled income. So all of the income that you plan on having. So, and basically if you compare a specific location or a specific property, let's say you had 5 different properties, and the GRM, which is basically the selling price or the market value divided by the gross scheduled income on an annual basis, it gives you that GRM number. And if you have 5 properties, imagine one of the properties has a GRM of 5, another has it of 6, another has it of 5.5, of 7, and then 12. Well, 12 would be really outside of the norm. So you would want to understand, well, why is that at 12 when everything else is more or less between 5.5 and 7? So you would want to take a look at that. It's something that would be really, really important. And I would say definitely make sure that that you understand that. So it's just a really quick way to understand if the amount of money that you're paying for a specific stream of income, and it is a really quick way to understand whether or not you want to invest more time in a specific property. So hopefully this has been informative. It's been helpful for you. What I would say is definitely leave your comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and are you using the GRM today? Be interesting to understand. So, and for those of you who maybe this is your first time seeing me on a video, I am someone who works in Europe and invests in multifamily assets back in the United States. I have a really clear process on how I've been doing that, and you can pick that up for free in an ebook, which is at keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. Just go there. You can pick that up. And like I said, if you found value in this video, go ahead and make sure that you like it, leave your comments, and share it with other people. So this is Billy. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.